And quite a few, it was interesting actually, quite a few stayed up pretty much most of the night because they just couldn't sleep. Quite a few of the leaders and the business leaders were coming to me because they knew my story. And there was, genuinely asking great questions like, how did you cope? I'm struggling here now, and it's only been an hour in. How did you cope for, 2 years? And it was nice because it was all about education, and they was all educating themselves. And I say that empathy, once they've spent a night out where their kids are in the, all I kept on thinking was my boys and my wife. And they was thinking the same, my little boys or my little girls in bed, all snuggled up, nice and warm. And I'm out here freezing me, what's it's off. But something changed. Every person that I spoke to after that said, you know what, I'm going to do more. And quite a few volunteer now to go to food banks, quite a few go, to shelters, but unless you've had that education or that, you've got that empathy, then people just go about their everyday lives until it happens to them. And this is why I love this CEO Sleep Out, is because you're getting people you wouldn't normally associate with this kind of thing into an environment that is completely uncomfortable for them. And now going back into their workplaces, they've got a lot more understanding and tolerance, because a lot of them will obviously be paying the minimum wage. And so they'll understand the link between, if they're not paying for sick pay or whatever, there's potential for some of their employees to get down this route. And it's beautiful to watch these, hard-nosed, some of them hard-nosed business leaders actually softening and thinking, yeah, we can do more. And sometimes, more is better than nothing. You know what I mean? So it is, I love it. I love it, and it's a weird thing to say about sleeping out on the street. But it's just one of those things where, it just gives you that wisdom and empathy, and it changes you as a person. I would highly recommend anybody, if they're doing anything for a homeless charity, to do one of these sleep hours, because there's others, I know Leanne Kirkham from Helping Hands and Leamington Spa, who I've got so much respect for. They do a sleep out as well for their charity. Stacey Calder, who's part of one of our private mentors club, she's doing a sleep out as well for Helping Hands. You know what I mean? And it changes people. It changes people, but in a good way.
Yeah. So basically, the CEO Sleep Out, it sounds as though it's got two massive benefits. One is raising funds for homeless charities and awareness around it, but also the business people who actually take part in it starts to change their awareness and their perception of homelessness, what leads to it, what it's actually like there, and they can start to see what they can do within their businesses to help reduce potential future homelessness. So it sounds as though it's attacking it on two prongs.
Oh, massively. And I've kept in touch with quite a few, and as I was saying to you before, as a result of going to the sleep out last year, I'm now looking at potentially doing a lot of work mental health wise with one of the corporations that were in there. They understood, they got it, and they have this understanding and empathy where they want to be the leaders in raising awareness of mental health and, everything that surrounds that. And they're bringing me in to work on that. And it's just, would that have happened without that event? Not to the scale they're talking, and so it has got the potential to change businesses for the better. We don't all have to be, hustle and grind and work 18 hours a day. You can treat your staff with a lot more respect, understand about mental health and, how that responsibility of actually paying their wage can cause a lot of damage if pay run is not done properly, or, if they don't get paid for sick and they've got legitimate illness. Well, as I say, we're only 1 or 2 paychecks away from our unexpected bills.
Very true. Very true.
You know,
So part of this is to raise awareness of homelessness, and also part of it is to raise funds for homeless charities. So anyone who's listening and is moved by the whole story and wants to help, what's the best way for them to donate?
well, I've got a Just Giving page, which is www.justgiving.com/fundraising/David Heffernan 2. I'm sure you'll put the link on somewhere. But that's my link to raise the money. I say last year we raised 64,000 between us. This year we're hoping to raise 100,000 for Manchester alone.
Nice. So that link again, and yeah, we'll put it in the show notes. We'll pop it on the video. But for anyone who's listening who wants that link again, it's justgiving.com/fundraising/David-Heffernan2. That's DAVID-HEFFERNAN and the number 2.
Yes.
Justgiving.com/fundraising/David-Heffernan2. You can find out more about what they're doing, and crucially, you can make a donation there. Any size is welcome, big or small, whatever. It's welcome. It's going to be for a very worthwhile cause, and it will make a difference.
Massively. You know, we've already made a difference in the last year alone. You know, so
yeah. What sort of can you give us a couple of examples of things that have happened that we've maybe not talked about so far, but which have happened as a direct result of last year's CEO Sleep Out?
Yes, certainly. Well, one of the charities that we support is a charity called MASH, which is Manchester Action for Sexual Health, and they do a lot of work in the red light districts in Manchester, working with the young girls who unfortunately fell into the trap of prostitution. And last year we managed to donate to them £12,000, which has secured a mobile home, which is now stationed permanently every night in the red light district, supporting the young girls, give them a safe place to come, helping them with these personal needs. They run workshops from there, and the girls have built up a massive trust of these charity workers. So when the time is right for them to want to leave, they know where they can go to get out of that world. So that's just one of them. We also support the Mustard Tree Foundation. Just get them up, because I'm focusing on what we're doing this year now. So I'm just trying to get on the last one, the Mustard Tree Foundation. There was 4 charities that we supported last year that got in total £64,000. But it basically, poverty, mental health, homelessness and sex worker charities are the main ones who benefit out of the go. So Lancashire County Cricket Club Foundation, so they take people from all backgrounds and vulnerable backgrounds and work with them and give them experiences and basically a future. The Mustard Tree, as I say, Walking with the Wounded, which again is I can't see. That's one of the new ones we've got on today, and Back on Track. So if you go on to ceosleepoutuk.com and then check out the Sleep Outs Manchester, all the charities on there that we support.
Got it. So ceosleepoutuk.com, you can find out a lot more about the event and about the charities that are being helped and how they can help vulnerable people who are homeless, very often through absolutely no fault of their own. It's something that could happen to each and every one of us, quite literally could happen to any of us.
Exactly. And also Andy Preston, who founded CEO Sleep Out, he's got a restaurant in Stockton-on-Tees near Middlesbrough, and as far as I'm aware, all the staff are from the local prison. So he's giving prisoners
giving back, yeah,
a chance to get back on the feet as well. So You know, it's just so far-reaching, the work that Andy and CO Sleep Out UK do. It's just incredible. You know, I'm proud to support them and proud to be part of the charity. So anything I can do to raise money and awareness of them, you know, I'm more than happy to do so.
Yeah, it's amazing stuff that that they're doing and that you're doing in turn to help them and to raise funds. And just again, anyone who wants to donate, it's justgiving.com/fundraising/David-Heffernan 2, DAVID-HEFFERNAN number 2.
That's the one.
And just before we kind of go, I've got a question I have to ask. I would say it's a very sad indictment on our society that we have so many homeless in this day and age. I suspect possibly even in the most caring of societies, there will be some who, for whatever reason, are always going to sleep rough. But the fact that we have so many through no fault of their own are sleeping rough, it's a terrible indictment on our society. If you were Prime Minister, is there any particular, and you could make one policy that would help alleviate this situation and stop it from occurring in the future? If you were able to wave that magic wand, what would your policy be, David?
I would have a root and branch review of our social policy, from looking at it all starts in primary school. You know, everything starts in primary school. If we start educating them in the right way, if we start understanding that mental health, you know, starts in childhood, poor mental health the vast majority start in child trauma and is taken into adult life, you know. And so I would get the schooling system right. I put on Facebook yesterday about my son, who has got very special needs. He's got dyspraxia. He's under CAMS for possible Asperger's, and he loves football. You know, and it's not the greatest football because of his mobility issues and what have you. You know, he can't run fast, and you know his coordination is not great. But he puts his all in. And since school year started, he's not been picked. He goes to train every single week, you know, and he's not been picked for any matches, or he's been picked for the bench once and he had 120 seconds, I think it was, on the actual pitch, which is pointless. And so I went to pick him up from training. Yes, I was watching him training, and he was coming back off the pitch at the end with his teacher, and he had his head in his hand. He was visibly upset. And I thought, oh, he's not been picked again. So I was mentally preparing myself to say, you know, don't worry about it. You know, like. Anyway, the teacher turned around to me and said, I have no idea, Mr. Heffernan. He said, he's been picked for the match on Wednesday. And I said, you've got no idea. Said, you've taught him for the last year and a half. You understand the passion that he's got for football. You know, this is overwhelmed. And he looked at me and he said, Dad, he said, I'm overwhelmed. I've finally been picked. Now, I said to the teacher, I said, look, I said, if we just focused on rewarding hard work and passion rather than just talent, the world would be such a better place. And it's not about, oh, someone's got special needs, so you have to put him in. It's about recognizing the work ethic he's put in. It's about recognizing that he's been there every single time, trying his damned hardest, and he's been coming home in pain. You know what I mean? Because of his dyspraxia, he's been coming home in pain because he loves it so much. That needs to be rewarded. That needs to be acknowledged. From a mental health perspective, that needs to be acknowledged. And my son, you know, he was overwhelmed by it all. He couldn't believe he'd been picked. And I said, let that be a lesson to you. I said, because that is the power that you've got in your hands there by recognizing people's hard work and children's hard work. You know, I said, yeah, some may look at that as a bit over the top, but because of his issues, you know, that's how it manifested. And I couldn't have been more proud of him. You know, and I said that to him. I said, I'm so proud because every single time he was coming off the pitch saying, not been picked again, Dad, I don't know what I'm doing wrong.